6 o'clock, why this?
Yep, give me 1 second.
Yeah. 6 o'clock, why this? Well, that,
It takes back like 10 seconds of the recording, so
oh,
that was just you talking.
oh, I gotta stand up for the pledge, I'm not sure I can get up.
You don't have to, just leave it. We're good.
Okay. This feels strange, but I'm gonna call this meeting of the Southampton Select Board, March 24th to order at 6:01. And I'll lead us in the pledge from a city position. But I'll start. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Approved prior meeting minutes, March 10th. I believe I was at that one, I was, and I sent you some minor, very minor revisions there incorporated in the.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a motion regarding the draft minutes of March 10th?
I make a motion, we accept the minutes of the March 10th meeting.
I'll second. Discussion? All those in favor? Okay, report of members. You have anything you want to report on to or speak to? I don't either. Adjustments to the agenda. I think we have a few. Anyway, Terry, I believe, would like to talk about payroll issues, at sort of at a 30,000 foot level. Yep, correct. About getting together in the future. So review some issues. Hannah, did you have something?
No?
Oh, you did. Didn't we have a letter or something from? Did we need to deal with that, workers' comp? No, it wasn't that, the, findings on the fine for.
Oh, did you wanna talk about that?
I don't know, do we need to, or,
I mean, there's nothing really to talk about,
okay, so,
you have to do it.
yeah, okay. That was a letter we got from. Department of Labor.
Yeah.
About, and they cited the ambulance and the Outback were not keeping proper, basically not keeping proper safety records.
Right,
And we have to pay a $700 fine.
for each,
For each, yeah. And we haven't done it. Since I've been out, but I don't know. Anything else? Public comment for items not on the agenda?
Yes, I would like to say something.
Okay.
Add something. I appreciate the opportunity to
Okay.
speak to this. That being said, I am addressing the current climate at the Guilford Butler Community Center. This center came about by a lot of people working very hard together to bring it to fruition. It was a warm and welcoming place where anyone, regardless of age or infirmities, could come together and socialize. Unfortunately, that's sort of changed. All were made to feel welcome. I have been approached by many who feel how uninviting it is to walk into the center. The climate has become toxic and divisive. People have been yelled at. I myself was followed out of the building and shouted at by someone standing on the front steps. Yes, there were witnesses. This is highly inappropriate behavior. False accusations have been hurled about. There is no excuse for this type of behavior by persons who supposedly represent the town. There was a lovely meeting craft room where people could sit in a circle and knit, crochet, sew, or just converse. This has been turned into a replica of a school lunchroom. Yes, the building has been cleaned up, and that is a very good thing, but it has also been rendered sterile. There is no humanity anymore. If this center is going to flourish and truly represent South Thomaston, changes must be made, and soon, before it implodes upon itself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are gonna have a little. Where am I here?
We have another.
Oh, you wanna speak
Well,
to?
I also have a letter from somebody.
Okay.
This is not mine. This is, somebody gave me and asked me to read it.
Okay, can you tell us who?
Sue Huffnagel. I don't think
Okay.
she signed it, so I guess she
I think
doesn't
we
mind.
wrote that.
Yeah, I think we did too, but go ahead, read it there.
Okay, first, thank you to the town of South Thomaston for creating a great community center that has been welcoming to all. The center has provided me with wonderful exercise and social opportunities up to 6 weeks since I retired. I am writing to you to express my concern and distress about the changes at the center and library since the change in leadership. While the building is cleaned up, the warm and welcoming feeling is gone. I wonder why a person who, as far as I know, has not been a participant in Guilford Butler activities is now in charge of making changes, such as the removal of the rocking chairs from the makerspace, without input from regular participants. I have witnessed a patron being yelled at for removing, stealing implied, a bowl from the makerspace when she was in fact taking it to return it to the owner. I have also heard about other inappropriate actions. Participants in several activities are not returning because of the way they have been treated by the new leader. I ask you to please listen to my concerns and the concerns of others and consider another change in leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not gonna get into discussing that, cause I refer to a town employee who's not here. So I think it would be inappropriate to have that whole discussion without her present. I thought she was coming tonight, but
I think they're open till
maybe she'll be up later.
7. I can't remember what time. 7.
Okay, let's jump to the bunk room, ambulance bunk room. I guess we have a new quote. Hannah, walk us through this. That's considerably less money from,
Yes, so BC Electric came down, he checked it out. He, even with the buffer is $5,400, Hedstrom is 7,000, which is who the architect went through. So. It depends on what you would like to do, he did say he wanted to speak to David. After he gets back from vacation, if we do go through with his, invoice estimate.
Hedstrom or DC?
BC, cause he wasn't, I couldn't really give him too much of what needed to go where. I did give him the plan to look at, but I didn't know.
well,
And David just left that day to go on vacation.
yeah, and that's what worries me a little bit. I just wanna make sure we got apples to apples here.
Yeah, that's why,
Without him reviewing it with David, I'm a little hesitant.
yeah,
We can table it for now.
so
We can table it for now.
Yeah.
what I did was I sent what was from Hedstrom. I sent him what Hedstrom was gonna do to BC Electric.
Yeah,
So we kind of went off that and what he thought would be good for the room when he came down and looked at it.
yeah. Well, I think I'd rather make sure that David and he are on the same page. And not end up, oh, we need 2 more grand to do this or something, so. I guess I would entertain a motion to table it.
I make a motion that we table the decision on the electrician for the luncheon.
I'll second that. Further discussion? All those in favor? Think so, this is table forever. David did give us some places where he thought we could, you can underspend. Or one place, that could help offset some of that expense, and I guess he talked to Jeff about using some building, money. But we can talk more about that when we have take it up again. Discuss and consider approval of FY 26-27 budget. I'll be honest with you, Jeff's been the mover and shaker behind this, and without him here, I guess we're ready for that, but we could maybe make it preliminary. I would like personally to talk about one item, but I would, but relates to personnel. So I'd like to do that after the, if the executive session, if we have one on personnel. And Terry, I don't know, do you have anything else to add at this point, or
No, just,
what we
yeah,
got?
just the changes I sent out.
Okay,
Well, the most significant change was in workman's comp.
yeah.
Yep.
And I read all that stuff again, and I don't, it just makes no sense to me. That if you work 2 hours, as an example, as a firefighter, and 38 hours as an ambulance driver or EMT, that your whole wages are rated as a firefighter, which is a lot higher than an EMT. I mean, that was 15,000 it cost us in extra money. Because we have people that are cross-trained, and we've been trying to do that.
Right.
So it just doesn't, it doesn't pass the straight face test with me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it, but I've been thinking. And then and this budget is adjusted. The 15,000 was last year. Now you've adjusted this budget for that purpose, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think, I'd like to. I think this wraps in a little bit to what you were talking about earlier about sitting down with David and talking about payroll and how we record things and so on and so forth, but we'll get to that at that point, so. I don't know what we wanna do with the budget. I'd like to discuss it again after we have the personnel executive session,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
So we'll table it till later tonight. Okay. Conservation and forest reserve. Sandra, do you wanna lead us?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought I'd come up, because I know I was accused of mumbling.
Okay, but then you gotta sit sideways so the audience can hear
Fair
you.
enough. Fair enough. Now, oh, you had a chance to read my message.
I did,
Sue-
even the corrected one.
You're right. Well, I transposed those numbers, it's a little dramatic. 5,700 versus 75.
Yeah,
Okay, so, 3 things. First of all, locating the forest preserve boundary. It's something we really need to do, it's something we're not skilled at, and we would like the help of somebody who is skilled to do it with us. That's why we'd like to hire Lauren Grandstrom to do that.
When we pay the surveyor to do it, that doesn't give us the boundaries.
On paper,
it's
he
just,
doesn't, he marks corners, I
Okay,
need to mark the lines.
so how are we gonna mark the line? Are we gonna blaze it or something, or? Okay.
Well,
So but it's gonna be based on Nate's survey, I assume.
Nate survey with the modification because he uses something called
Yeah,
state plane grid. We've had Letitia Van Buren, translate those into GPS coordinates, and that's what we'd be using.
okay, so there might be a slight variation.
No,
No, okay, so then it's based on his survey then.
yeah,
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 okay,
just we can't use his survey to
Right,
actually.
right. Yeah.
Stand in the ground and get a location.
Well, I'm good with that. I think we should have that. Do we have a sense of how drastic a blaze we're talking about? Are we talking about 2-foot corridor or just a minor?
I'm sorry, I'm not following.
What do
The
you-
place, we'll try to mark the boundary.
Yeah, with, but is it a cut blades or what we're talking about?
I think what they do is do a small cut and paint it with something
Okay.
indelible.
Okay, okay. And so many feet and.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
I'm good with it. You are, so
And where does this money come from?
the,
It would come from,
From the money.
well, we have
Your reserve?
forest preserve money in
Okay.
reserve and we have donations. We start
Okay.
Right.
donations. And I think we have enough to cover.
now do we need this for the main for. Land future grant,
No,
we do not.
but we do need it to be able to make the preserve available to the public.
Yeah,
We've had a couple of examples where, because it's not marked, people have wandered off and thought they were on it, that complained about the no hunting signs. Turned out to be Don Brothero's no hunting signs, which were of course perfectly legitimate. And then, more recently, some snowmobilers complained that they were snowmobiling in the preserve and they came at this pile of logs. Well, that's the pile of logs Don Prothero had
Right.
put up to keep people off his land.
right,
So if we had it marked, maybe there would be
Yeah.
fewer confusions like this.
yeah. I still think people are gonna try to use that road across the corner of Don's land,
This is between them and
but
Don.
yes, it is, right, exactly.
Well, and good luck, I mean, that's quite a pile of logs.
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do we need a motion?
Yes, please.
I make a motion that we approve $2,000 for contract with Maren Grandstrom for the forest management plan. No, you
No,
already did
for
that,
that, mark-
for
marking
the
boundary.
marking boundaries of the forest preserve.
And when we say the preserve, we're not talking about the original town land, we're talking about just what was acquired from
Just-
Smith. Yeah,
And Klein.
decline, right, okay,
Absolutely.
I'll second that. Further discussion? All those in favor? John, I. Sam, we said, you had 3 things?
Yeah, so the second one, it also relates in part to that. We would like to purchase a highly accurate GPS locator, handheld GPS locator. Because again, we want to mark the boundaries, we don't want something within a few yards, we want a boundary. And if we
She
have.
says she can't hear.
They can't hear you. Well,
Gotta speak up, you can't mumble here either.
I think it's more volume
Oh,
than.
that's good. Need a different voice.
Uh.
Anyway, where was I?
GPS,
Yeah. So. We figured that it would be useful not only for this project, but for projects in the future. For trail building, for trails elsewhere in the town. And it would be something that would be available for use. By the planning board perhaps, by the road commissioner, by.
located culverts.
So our proposal would be that it be the property of the town in the custody ordinarily of the Conservation Commission, but available for any legitimate town use. And we would like, there is money in Conservation Commission budget. Though, as I said, the one we're looking at is about $500, and we have that money in the
Yeah.
Conservation Commission budget.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
Okay, motion,
Make a motion that the conservation commission, be able to purchase the Garmin GPS Map 67 handheld.
Oh, don't say the government,
Oh.
just say,
A GPS
right.
handheld,
Handheld, highly accurate GPS handheld.
handheld,
Yes.
we had a
About
friendly
$500.
amendment up to $500.
yeah,
Yeah.
a minimum of $500,
But
maximum.
It needs to be in the, I mean, that is not gonna cover shipping and like that, so it needs to be,
Well, you tell me, you told me 500, so.
well, that's the cost.
Yeah,
It's not,
what's the number?
$550,
say $550,
Yeah.
Okay,
a maximum of $550.
Yeah.
and,
second, All right, discussion, all those in favor? Okay,
Just just an added point, we think, are we right? That if the town buys it, there's no sales tax.
you're correct.
Great. So we will have the town buy it when we're absolutely certain that's the model.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, so.
And then
The third thing is,
third thing, I'm really thrilled about, we have been trying. Actually, for a couple of years. To get an appraiser willing to do the job,
right,
and we finally got one at
oh, really?
a price that doesn't make us thrilled. It would have been a lot cheaper a couple of years ago, but here we are. And this is the appraiser we're talking to. Has familiarity with working with Land for Maine's Future, which is really helpful. They did the appraisal. For St. George's Old Woods Farm. Land for Maine's Future project. And St. George was very pleased with their work.
And pass muster with all that.
Yeah, they've got a great, yeah. So that's the third request.
Yeah, so this is, are they gonna appraise it pre the covenants that went on, or post? Or
They
both?
are going to appraise it. The Land for Maine's Future does not want us to finally execute those deeds until they're happy, until their lawyers are happy. So, but it will be the Forest Preserve property where the 5 are treated as one,
Yeah,
and with the access easement, which is crucial because if you don't have that, it's treated as landlocked.
right,
And
we have the access. Pardon me if I ask stupid questions, but I've been out of the loop and my memory hasn't been perfect, but we now have that all tied up, the access easement, correct?
we have it,
For town meeting.
we have it surveyed, we have town meeting approval to do it.
So it's just a matter of.
And it's in the hands of Land for Maine's Future, who is, the lawyers are reviewing it, and I told them how to get in touch with Melissa. Our
Yeah.
lawyer. I sent a message to her, I've heard nothing back, that's kind of typical, I just trust that when Land for Maine's Future lawyer calls, she'll pick up the phone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what happens when you get people working at a discount.
Well, and she's been great, but I understand she's gotta
Yeah,
pay the bills, and we're
Yeah.
not doing it.
No.
Right, and I missed the chance to get it in your packets, but I brought with me their proposal. And they need a signature before they treat us as, okay, we've got a deal and we'll put you on our schedule for spring. I'm sure, based on past history, that Jeff will want to give it a hard look. So I'm not expecting you folks to do anything tonight. Do you have it? I brought copies if you don't.
Of the contract,
no,
Oh,
You
yeah,
have it
the legacy appraisal.
yeah, oh, yes, okay, we just got it,
yeah, there,
we
Yeah,
just got it.
okay,
Yeah, I'd like to read it too.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so,
But the
But I-
sooner you can look it over, tell us if and I know Jeff has to look at it. Let us know if there are any changes we want to negotiate.
well. In the interest of time, because time may cease to exist by the time we get everything in order to get this $67,000. Should we perhaps approve it? Conceptually pending, minor edits or something like that, I mean, we got the major stuff here, the price and the scope of work and so on and so forth. Is there anything, do they have insurance? I didn't see anything about that.
I am sure they do, they're
Yeah.
a big outfit,
Yeah.
and that was an issue with the forester that I'm sure we're not gonna run into.
Yeah. So I'm happy with that. Moving along. It's up to you.
And where is this coming from?
This is again from that money we raised, I assume, to get the grant money.
We will, yes, except the forest preserve money, and
Right.
again, we use donations
First,
until they run out,
right,
and then the reserve.
yeah.
Okay,
And again, we need to remember, we need this for the grant, the $67,000 that we
Absolutely,
get everybody from LMF,
that someday they'll
Yeah.
place to us,
huh?
if we
Yeah,
just. do enough.
16 years from now,
I was gonna say if it's still there.
Okay, I'm not gonna
But
last that long, so.
They definitely, make you cross your T's and dot your I's, there's
They
no
do.
question about it, so.
But if we can get the appraisal, then
That's
a
a
lot
big
of
step.
other things fall into place.
Yeah.
We can then get title insurance, which is another requirement.
Yeah,
We can take the appraisal to Land Remains Future, you have to go to their appraisal board and get that blessed. But we could do all that and actually feel like we were in the last match.
yeah. And just so everyone knows, most of what we've been talking about here is what we need to do to get the $67,000 that Lance Remain Future awarded us, so.
Yeah, which is, it's in living color. So where are we?
Well, I was thinking,
I got lots of copies.
No, I just threw it back, I don't want to. But where we're at, I was thinking about just improving this conceptually. Jeff's copy is not even to him yet, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Well,
it
it's in an
It's in an
email,
email.
I sent
so,
an
Okay,
email.
yeah, all right,
with
okay.
attached.
All right, I'll ask him if he wants to chime in at all, but short of that, I'm good to go.
Do you want me to make a
It's up to you, but yes.
that we, approve the appraisal of the forest preserve by, Jesse Studley of Legacy Appraisals, contingent on us looking at the contract with the, do you want no more than $5,700?
They offered a price which we expected Harper to.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So for no more than
54.
57,
54.
54, oh, I see,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this
I
57
confused
then.
you.
For $5,400, some other donations and reserve.
Second. Further discussion? All those in favor? So, even with all these little expense here and expense there and expense there, we're still gonna come way ahead of the game. Yeah, I just want everybody to know that.
Yeah, well, the town has so far not paid a penny.
Right,
I mean,
well,
No, they-
that's not,
they'll get what they paid back,
yeah,
and over that, they have not paid. It's all from our donations.
and your hard work,
Several people's hard work.
okay. All right,
All right.
Thank you. yeah,
Thank you.
moving right along, let's talk about, well, let's talk about the cover for the annual town report. The last 3 or 4 years, we've asked people to submit pictures. Sort of a little competition, do we wanna do that again, or does somebody have a picture in mind, or?
I don't.
I mean, I
think
don't,
put it out, and let people,
yeah,
yeah,
I don't really care, so.
I don't care either. Anybody get a picture?
You got a good picture? So, Hannah, on
Yes.
your last day of work, tomorrow, presumably, could you, dust off last year's little blurb and send it out again?
Yep. we do that.
Okay. And, if anybody has any ideas on, dedication, please, forward them to me. I don't wanna talk about it publicly, obviously, we try to keep that a state secret until the last minute. But, all right. Okay, unfortunately, we have to accept, we don't have to, but, we have a resignation from Hannah effective tomorrow. She handed it in with 2 weeks' notice, as the town clerk. So is there a motion to accept that resignation?
So moved.
I'll second that with regret. Further discussion? Well, Hannah, good luck
Yes.
in your
Thank you.
What do you
Job
decide to do?
or whatever you decide to do. So, all those in favor? And Hannah said she would get out draft minutes before she left tomorrow, so.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, I thought Bev was coming tonight.
she's on Zoom.
She's not.
Oh, good,
Well, she was. Is
Yeah,
that,
she's the S.
oh, okay.
Toe or.
okay. This next item has to do with, where am I? Volunteers, use and control of volunteers. I got an email from, well, we all did, from Bev, a week or so ago, maybe a little more, that I sensed there was a sense of urgency in about, her ability to control and or use volunteers. I was pretty sure that there was no question in my mind that the town had the right to direct volunteers or say they couldn't do this or couldn't do that or not needed here and there. But since there seemed to be such a sense of urgency, took the liberty and called Kristen just to double check with stuff. And I just gonna say this, she reaffirmed that the town Board of Selectmen and their employees have absolutely the right to, for lack of a better word, control volunteers in their activities and whether or not they're needed and so on and so forth. And she likened it to, which I thought was a good example. You just wouldn't let someone walk in and jump on a fire truck and drive it away. Oh, I'm gonna volunteer to drive this fire truck or sit at the cash draw out front, so. So I just wanted to. Basically, already spoke to Bev, but I just wanted to reaffirm that in public that Bev as an employee of the town, or me as a road commissioner, or David as the fire chief, does have the right, the duty, perhaps even the duty to direct volunteers. So that's all there is on that, unless,
I like the
You
word
got something?
direct better than control.
yeah. Well, so that's all I have on that. I mean, I kind of knew that answer anyways, but so Bev, I didn't know if you wanted to add anything to that, if that. She there? Not there.
She's there, but on mute.
I'm trying to get this on. I have someone in here right now, so I'm not going to add anything at this time.
Yeah, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're clear now, your authority.
Yeah.
is.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I also had a couple of people, Bev and a person who's on the I think we got so many committees now, I can't keep track of them.
library community.
Library Community Center Advisory Committee asking me about could sitting members be removed? And if so, was there a process, and if so, what was that process? I haven't researched this at all, but I do know for a fact that if we appoint someone, we can remove them. If we hire someone, we can terminate them. And it's a question, there's no statutory process or anything to remove committee members. There's certainly one way often is, it's not really removing by someone, but their term expires and you don't reappoint them. But this question was more in midterm, as I understood it. And I'm of the firm belief, and it's hard without three of us here tonight, that this board could. Does have the authority to remove anybody that it appointed. And if there's no compensation involved, then there's no due process required, although personally, I think anybody who's volunteered and has worked on a committee is entitled to at least have some degree of due process. I mean,
I
at least
agree.
come to a meeting and say, no, that's not what happened, and, you know, blah, 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 so. But without Jeff here, it's hard to, I think he may have some thoughts on this too, but.
Yeah,
But, that's where I'm coming from, and I don't know if you have any thoughts.
I think there does need to be a process, you know, if there were people that are on any committee that aren't working toward the goal that committee is for.
I'm not sure we need to get into amending every committee's bylaws
No,
to bake that process in. You know, I just think that, that's sort of our job.
but what is the process if there's a committee and people on a committee that think people shouldn't be on the committee? Do they come to the select board,
That would be.
like a request, like an executive session, or?
That would be my thinking. I don't know about the executive session. I guess if it was gonna potentially damage someone's reputation, which is one of the main criteria for executive session, talking about removing or disciplining people, that could qualify.
I mean,
But again, I haven't researched it at all, and and without Jeff here, it's hard to have this.
Yeah.
Discussion, but I don't think there's any question that, you know, that the select board, if we appoint them, we can remove them. So,
do we wanna put it on the next agenda?
that would be my
Discuss?
thought. I'd like to have Jeff chime in.
Okay. Do you want a motion to table it?
Yeah, I'm thinking, should I might call MMA legal to chat with them and see what, I mean, this has has to have come up before in the state of.
Oh, yeah,
So, but it's never come up here. We've had people urge us not to reappoint someone whose term has expired, but, to my knowledge, which is not, you know, I haven't been here straight through for 15 years, but off and on, it's never been come up, so. I don't know if anybody wants to speak to that. I know a couple of people that spoke to me about this are here or on Zoom. Or if you just wanna, if I conveyed it accurately. Going once, going twice, but
Yeah, I will say, I think my question was, which you've already answered, which is, do the bylaws have to be amended so that there's a process? But you've already answered that you don't believe that that is the route that we would go. It would just be brought to the select board.
yeah, I think you could do that. Amend the bylaws, but those gotta come in front of us anyways to be amended.
Right.
You could propose that, but I mean, the more. I hate to say this, but I will, the more you have stuff. Kind of buried in the fine print and bylaws, the more you're liable to trip over yourself.
I agree. But I also can see where if you're trying to move something forward, in my mind always goes to when we're far enough along that we're looking at a capital campaign, that we're advising on a cohesive committee that all want to see some change
Yeah,
and trying to work with people who don't want anything to change.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. I personally, if I was on a committee that was heading in a direction that I didn't agree with, I would resign. You know, just, you know, I'm not gonna work on this committee that's going where I don't wanna go, but, I don't know. But, so, do we wanna, I'll do that, I'll call MMA and talk to them and we'll
Okay.
put it on the next agenda
Okay,
again,
do we don't need any motion, just put it on the agenda again,
or we can table it,
okay.
but
I'll make a motion to table the discussion of removal of committee members.
I'll second that. And
John,
yes,
I can't find my hand up button. Sue made a very good point a minute ago. When she pointed out that if you join a committee whose mission you don't endorse, that's kind of a disqualifying situation, at least in my opinion. And in my opinion, again, we've had at least 2 incidents of that over the last couple of years. So one thing I would suggest is that when you're appointing somebody to a committee that has a defined mission, so this committee exists to do X, Y, and Z, and that there may be people in the town that disagree with that. But the fact of the matter is the committee has the mission to achieve objective A. You shouldn't put on the committee somebody whose real intent is to subvert that mission.
well, I agree, Walter, and I don't think we've been great, we, the select board over the years, at vetting people. We're often so desperate for committee members that if you have you know,
If you can
no,
fog a mirror, you get to be on the committee. That's
Yeah.
not good.
and it's hard to not appoint people when you're begging people to apply. They apply, you have vacancies, and then you say, no, that's we're not gonna appoint you, that's awkward. But I think we need to be better at that. And, because you're right, this
Muted.
has come up now 2 or 3 times over the past few years. So, I agree with you, thank you for your comment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sue, for bringing that up.
You all,
All right, did we vote?
we did,
Okay,
I don't think.
did we, Hannah?
No.
No. You're enthusiastic.
No, you didn't.
No.
Okay, all those in favor of tabling it? Okay. Then while we're on this, let's jump down and go to appointments. AI. There's a vacancy on the Library and Community Center Advisory Committee, and we have an email from Carol, don't know how to say her last name,
Correct.
that recommends on a split vote that we appoint Pam Huiduck. Oh, is there a motion? This is a seat
Yep,
yeah.
I make a motion that we appoint Pam Huidon to the Library and Community Center Advisory Committee.
I'll second that. Discussion. I did want to say one thing. I don't think it's a fatal flaw, but somehow or other, this committee got the idea that they could vote by email, which they can't. They have to, any vote has to be done in an open and posted meeting. So, I think that's just for future reference, but all those in favor? So we gotta get Pam in and sworn in, and did the rest of this committee get sworn in?
I believe so.
Okay. I know sometimes you struggle to get people in here,
That's for-
and since it's your last day,
I can double check it tomorrow.
it could fall through the cracks. Okay, we have 2 warrants. We don't have any abatements or supplements, right? No donations. We have 2 warrants, a payroll and an AP. No correspondence. Future meetings, we have scheduled meetings for April, correct?
Yes.
Can you give me those dates?
They were the 14th.
And we have budget meetings too, right?
Yep, that's the same week. So the 14th, the select board would have a meeting following the budget committee meeting.
Okay,
And then, so it's the 14th,
15th.
13th, 14th, 15th, 16th.
All right, and then the second, the late April one is
28th.
28th. Do we wanna pencil in May? No, I don't wanna. I got the doctor stuff in May that I
Okay.
gotta sort out first. Okay, we're gonna come back to the budget for after the executive session. Think that's it. Did we deal with the adjustments? We did.
Payroll.
Talk about payroll.
Yes, right. So, Perry has suggested, and I think it's a great idea, that with the payroll processing getting more and more complicated, this workers' comp issue, how overtime is calculated, which is getting to be a nightmare, that we need to really sit down, Terry and David, the fire chief, I should say, and the ambulance director, and at least one select board, if it's more than one, two, would have to be a meeting. And Corey, who does the payroll, and really kind of have a rethink discussion about how we do payroll. Do we, I know sometimes now we're outsourcing it through a contractor because things just seem to be getting more and more complicated and following all the IRS rules and treasury rules and so on and so forth. And you can expose yourself to quite a bit of liability if you mess up. And so, yeah, it wasn't necessarily that we would definitely outsource it. That's not the source of the, that would be one thing to explore. And Terry's gonna explore that a little bit before the meeting, but I think that's a great idea. Because I think Corey is, as great as she is out there, she's getting a little frustrated. And then we have this, we pay the fire department quarterly, but we pay the ambulance, every 2 weeks. And when you figure the overtime, you gotta figure, for that 2 week period, you gotta figure both duties. It isn't like they're two different employers, they're all the same employer. And it's like, so.
Yeah, I have one discussion with Corey and, the fire department fills out like a list every day, and she gets that whole thing, or every week, and it would help her a lot to have
A
that
real
from the
lot.
ambulance.
But the fire department wanted.
I think they do them, but they don't turn them in.
The fire department wanted to get paid quarterly several years ago. Because their checks sometimes were minuscule.
Right,
And that's still gonna happen. And it would mean more checks each week, that's the downside to it. But it would mean you can calculate that overtime within that weekly period.
I mean, I think we need to do the check on how it makes things work best for us. Not, I mean, if they get a check every 2 weeks instead of
Yeah,
every 3 months, then.
on the other hand. The office exists to support the fire and the ambulance, not the other way around, so. But anyways, but I think, you wanna add anything?
I'd like to set up a meeting, I don't know when David will be back.
Yeah,
Corey could do. We could do like late afternoon,
yeah,
that would be easiest.
yeah, and you, in the interim, you said Owl's Head outsources their payroll?
I'll slide Camden, Rockport,
Yeah. St. George's in-house,
they, that's it.
yeah. There's disadvantages to outsourcing it, I mean, it's hard to get stuff corrected and,
Disadvantages.
disadvantages, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, you don't really wanna have the liability or
Yeah, I know.
rules
I know.
change all.
But right now, we can do an extra payroll. If someone's time card falls on the floor
Yeah,
and they're not in the payroll, and they work 40 hours on the ambulance, we can do a payroll with one check in it.
right,
And you can't do that typically with an outsourced payroll, so that person. I don't know, tough. But,
there's certainly a lot to discuss around
yeah,
all of it.
Rich, did you have a?
Just a question, and I don't know if you're able to answer it, but how does overtime come into play with payroll? I mean, you know, are people, how's that happen?
Well, they work, I don't know, what's 4 shifts on the ambulance, 36?
Yeah.
And then they work 6 hours in that same week for the fire department, and so they got 2 hours of overtime.
But we're asking them not to do that.
Right, but
But
it
it's
happens,
happening.
I mean, you know, and you're not gonna tell someone in the middle of a fire, go home, you're.
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's, David's got I think David has a much better handle on it. It was, but for a while there, it was getting, I don't wanna say out of control, but,
No, it would,
Huh?
I would say that.
okay, I didn't. But I think what people don't get is, the town is the town, it doesn't matter whether you're working for the fire department or the ambulance, it's all the town, and so your overtime is based on your town time during that weekly pay period. Sharon?
When I first came into the meeting, you said something about if they work so many hours for the ambulance and so many for the fire department, they're paid at the higher rate for all of them.
No, they're
No.
not paid,
That's for workman's comp, charges
their workers' comp rate per hour
is higher.
is higher, it's based on the fire rate.
And why is that, if all
Good
the hours
question.
are with the fire?
Good question.
That's something that workman's comp
Yeah,
decides.
we're gonna, I think, protest that.
So if
I
someone,
mean, is there something that can be done about it?
I don't know, Terry doesn't seem to think so.
MMA's our company and they say this is the way it's done.
Yeah, but there's gotta be other towns out there, this is the first year they're doing this, that are having a fit too. It's gotta be, so, I don't know.
John, I mean, unfortunately, that happens with
That's new.
any business, any organization, okay, when you have one person doing 2 or 3 different tasks, okay, it's a rule. You know, that says no division of payroll. Okay, so I can tell you, you're not gonna be able to fight it, all right,
Yeah.
because I've fought this a number of times with boat builders that I handled and stuff like that, but it just, you know, it's, they're gonna say, no,
Yeah.
no division of payroll, you know,
Well, and the letter we got from Roberta said it was based on some national
Yeah.
insurance standard or something.
That's correct.
I don't remember the acronym.
Yeah, it's an NCCI, ruling,
Exactly.
so, you know, you're not gonna be able to fight it, unfortunately,
But it really hasn't been too big of a problem for us. I mean, until recently, where we have a lot of people that are now on both. You know, which is something we've been trying to do, because it makes it easier to staff. But before, we did have a few, we had Ralph, Todd,
Yeah, but they weren't making the wages.
right, they don't work like
Ralph worked,
36 hours a week plus.
Ralph must have been pretty close,
Yeah, but he was a driver,
yeah,
it was the lowest pay. He wasn't, EMT or paramedic
yeah.
working.
Anyways, okay, so we all agree, I guess, that the set up a meeting when David gets back, cause David was kind of frustrated with this too, because he was saying, why all of a sudden is this an issue?
When is
Yeah.
David coming back?
I believe he told me the 5th of April is when he'll come back,
Okay,
but I could be wrong, but I did hear it.
So I can send out an email to everybody and everyone could throw a date in the
yeah,
ring and,
yeah,
okay.
and if 2 or more selectmen participate, we'll have to post it,
Okay.
but that would be fine. Okay. So that takes care of that. Is there a motion to go into executive session, discuss a personnel matter?
Yeah. I make a motion that we go into executive session regarding personnel pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A.
Second. All of discussion, All those in favor? John? Terry, will you stay for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
if anybody's interested in signing my select word papers, there.
Oh,
Yeah, here.
yeah.
Wait. No,